Good morning. Things that I used to think, including how much my dog doesn't shed but still needs to be brushed. Things I used to think include doing art is not useful. I used to think art class was a waste. It is absolutely not a waste. Proof is in proof is in the pudding. We could get upset that some people are artists. We could get upset that we go to a modern art museum and see pieces that are replicable, where we say, I could have done that. We see a company, I could have started that. You see a person who's dumb driving around in a dumb car, accusing them of having a small penis. I could have done that. Not the accusational part. I could have done the company building part. Oh, look, there's a guy landing a rocket ass first. I could never have done that, but I could have done something similar, which is an internal nuclear fission engine. Elon Musk loves solar. I love nuclear power. But then I realized if I invented something like that, I could literally have blown up the world. Therefore, I didn't. You're welcome. We get to live a little bit longer. What's my channel on? It's on stuff that you don't get taught in school. What's my sub channel on? It's things that I used to think. Starting with this nice bullet point list, which is this. I used to think that cold opens were difficult. What's a cold open in comedy? It's where you hit people with a scene that gets in late and gets out early. Cold open for meeting new people is she's drinking coffee in a coffee shop. She hasn't even looked at you. She hasn't smiled at you. She's given you no indications of interest. IOI. Zero indication of interest. Can you swoop in? Can you cold call? Can you cold open? Can you? Because the ability to cold open is the delta, is the chasm, is the difference between why men seem to succeed more than women, because it's cold opening. How many times do tall Chinese guys who are super gorgeous need to cold open? Zero. I show up, starfish, open up my heart chakra, and I don't even need to do a little jiggle. I don't even need to do a little two-step, Texas two-step in Miami, in Silicon Valley. I get cold opened. Is that me bragging? No. That's telling you why tall, really gorgeous guys are kind of useless, because we don't ever learn how to, number one, cold open. Wow. You are. Once you get your, and your correct, it really helps. Message number one. Chang Gang. Gothric. I almost read it as Gothic. Is that a dyslexia test? When we get cold opened, we get screwed economically. When we don't practice being the cold opener versus the cold open E. Hard R, opener. Why hard R? Because open E, no R, is where Larry Chang, me, hi. If this is your first video, you must participate in comedy club. If this is your first comedy club, you must participate in comedy club. Am I ripping right from Fight Club? Yes. Am I two people at the same time? Edward Norton and who's the other guy? The other guy? Who is the other guy? He's good at acting. You guys, who's the other guy? Bradley Armpit. Brad Pitt. Oh, that's right. Are you in the US? I went to bed watching you, and you're still on. Nah, it says, is it ISI? I can never tell if it's a username or if it's a name, like a pun name, a double entendre. Dare I say, double entendre is so Web 2. We're on to sextuple entendre. What's a sextuple entendre? It's something where you can't get canceled because you don't understand the code. What is the code? Oh, Larry, if I do cold opens and help Bumble, people are going to cancel me for being Me Too. We're way past Me Too. There is now a backlash, which is if you hurl a SA charge and you're making it up, you go to jail. Equilibrium. Getting canceled. I keep forgetting getting canceled. Why? Because Ed Norton and me met. When? When did Ed Norton and I meet? In the lobby. How often am I in the lobby of my hotel? How often am I in the lobby of my hotel? Which is the lobby of the hotel. Ten-second timeout for the Jap comment, because I do kind of look Japanese and I do like Asian ethnic slurs as a person of Japanese descent. Oh, but Larry, you said that you're Chinese. Well, the Japanese DNA, it got raped into my lineage. So with my 3% Japanese, what you call the Jap, is now Pearl Harboring you, not all the way where I'm sinking your USS Arizona, but I am going to down 15 of your fighters as you kamikaze into the Pacific Ocean, okay? I just Pearl Harbored you in a countermeasure to your Pearl Harbor. Who's more Japanese, you or me? You are, because you're way more kamikaze. You're way more self-destructive. You're flying your airplane into the ocean of Larry Chang. And I'm saying, don't kill yourself. Don't self-sabotage. Don't self-destruct. Don't cancel. And Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. And you don't have to worry about cancellation because you're trying to get to a place of safety, which is I'm going to self-sabotage myself by saying really hurtful things, not to the speaker, who's, by the way, hilarious, but I'm going to drop ethnic slurs because I'm Asian, and I'm going to say negative things about Japanese people who just revealed themselves. Hat reveal coming. Hat reveal coming. Be patient. Be patient. I was just man trapped in a woman's body. thank you for gender reversal entrepreneurship exercises. Hiya, hi, ni hao, hiya. It's anti-Vietnamese. Oh, sure. Miso Horner. Miso Horner. Hashtag MESO Horner. HOERNER. Height check. Hair check. What you're doing is, as a robot NPC, is worrying about getting canceled with humor, or trying to cancel with my humor. Wait, you are, YOURE. It'll really help the your. Hi, I love how your brain works. Beautiful mind. Michael St. John. Look, positivity will get you a better outcome. Not will get you everywhere. He's primarily Mongol. Everyone's got a little bit of that Genghis Khan blood in them. This is why I just Pearl Harbored the person. Brad Pitt, cold opens. We're back. Was that just a cold open of 12 minutes? The whole thing is a cold open because you guys have ADD. Asian distribution. Because before it was ADD, no attention. You guys are paying a ton of attention to somebody who cares about you, wants to cheer for you, and dare I say, I do dare say that because this is a safe space for everybody. I can say this as a person that you haven't even asked me what my pronouns are, which is, dare I say, I love you. Because have you ever been loved? Your dad, the super majority of you, didn't do a cold open. He did a hot take on, I don't have enough money for this situation. Bolted! Or your mom was kind of a biatch and said, hey, I need a 5-bedroom house and I'm stressed out of my mind because I need to take care of this baby. I need to take care of this baby. What baby am I taking care of? A lion. A little lion who got abandoned, just like in the animal kingdom, where the mom thinks that you're weak, and then the mom kicks you out, and then you're now starring in a YouTube video where it's a turnaround, right? How many times have we watched those videos? You can't look away. Oh, there's a little porcupine. We fed it with a little syringe. Oh, there's a random fucking mountain lion or bobcat. Oh, we held it with a syringe and we fucking domesticated a predator. Oh, look at this fox. He's snuggling now with the chickens. What the F am I watching? Can you just not domesticate anything? Oh, well, we saw this little deer and now it just acts like a dog. Oh, we're so surprised. No. Anything, when you love it and remove it from the wild, pretty much turns into a dog. Or worst case, a cat. But it basically ends up being a dog because animals are intelligent. And cats are basically dogs. That's here. That's this person. What is going on with this Oriental guy in this cowboy hat? Hi. Sometimes I have guests on this channel. Sometimes I'm doing a monologue. What content are we doing? Stuff they don't teach you in school. Oh, is this from the guy who wrote the New York Times bestseller, What They Don't Teach You at Stanford Business School? One and the same. Ooh, this channel, this isn't very technical. Oh, we get super technical. We co-founded Web 12. If you're on the live stream on July 11, I perfectly Bristol Ford out Web 12 because I was in flow and doing chapters. Chapters like chapters in a book. So what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School, dumbed down to what they don't teach you in school, dumbed down to things that I used to think, but now is genius. Why? Because I remember my mentor telling me, hey, Larry, you're a little too smart. Tone it down a little bit. Which is this toned down, but us toning down and turning up helps us realize, hey, being from MIT and Stanford doesn't mean we have to drive an Uber like 15 to 20% of Harvard grads end up driving a cab. Did I just pee on Harvard? No, I would never hurt Harvard, my safety school. What I'm doing is letting you know that I used to think that everybody from Harvard would be successful. That's what Harvard people used to think. Now everyone is successful because I explained to Harvard Law School, you graduate law school going to work for a company whose graduate went to law school at night. Therefore, learn to cold open. Learn distribution. In law school, they call it rainmaking. I'm taking a bow because that was hilarious, even if you rewatch this video, because expanding on a prior and being able to treat this like it's Talladega Nights will help you be rich, which is back to cold opens. Is this whole video about cold opens and not getting canceled? Pretty much. Streaming. Did I memorize my script? No. You just saw me turn and look. When you have notes, you get to call the shot list because you don't need to cold open. You can just... The chat exploded. Have I been speed reading the chat? Have I been streaming consciousness while speed reading the stream? Did I just eye roll at my own talent? A little bit. You can be blind. Fold the nip with dental floss. Okay, never heard that joke before. Dental floss. You can actually use it because I can smell your breath. And it's not even Steve Lawson. It's not even Steve Lawson. Not even going to pin it. Not even going to pin it. I am way behind. Oh, hair check. Hair check. Hair check. That's hat hair. Wait, let me do my hair real quick. Booyah! Hair check. What you're doing when you ask for a hair check 7 minutes ago, or, hey, how tall are you? What you're doing is you're saying, I'm only going to listen if he's exactly like me. Birds of a feather mentally flock together. You're looking for your flock. You are looking for the perfect mentor. You are looking for connection where possibly you should have forgiven me had I been bald, or gone along with the ruse of, hey, this is a bald guy with a cowboy hat covering his hair. But no, you wanted to find some defect in literally the best video you've ever watched. Is this a live stream? It's so good that 80% of the people think it's AI, Asian intelligence, because you've not seen delivery, you've not seen repetitions, you've not seen humor assembled. Therefore, you're looking for, oh, maybe he's short. And what I did when Web 2 came around was I told people who would ask questions over Twitter, because my Twitter profile picture is really little. I just got tired of people asking, because if you can't look at the 7-Eleven picture, which is, why are you stuck not liking things? I know that you're loving this, but you're hezzy. You're trying to not like, subscribe, or what's the other one? Comment. You're trying because you're conditioned to think that YouTube influencers are gamifying the algorithm. That's not the algorithm that we're gamifying. So when you're nitpicking, you're walking into my trap of, oh yeah, I'm 5'8", or I'm 5'5". Oh look, 5'5". There you go, 5'5". So then what happens is I show up at a party, and people are like, OMG, OMG, he's a full foot taller. Enjoy staring at the belly button. ADHD rolls off your tongue. Let's get into fixing our brain with a concept called unlimited supernatural. Is this part of the cold open? It just became that. What is unlimited supernatural? It's two words that I hate, and I really hate, but it's from the two best books that if you read both books, you would become limitless. Unlimited power, becoming supernatural. When Victoria told me, with her giant boobs and flowing blonde hair, which is being able to let people call you a scamster for not even scamming, which is being able to read and think, being able to read and ask questions. Is this page 60 of Jim Quick's book? It's actually page 62. It's actually page 62. Meow Meow chiming in with Slumdog, not Slumdog Millionaire, just Slumdog, pinning the tweet. Google this clown. He's a well-known scamster and fraudster. When you Google me, you'll see that some people used to think I was the co-founder of Quora. What's Quora? It's Adam's company that he jettisoned. Facebook had a really hard time getting traffic because nobody wants intelligent questions answered. Quora. Is that page 62 of Jim Quick's book? Let's look it up. Oh, let me read. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed, believe whatever you believe. You take the orange pill, you stay in Wonderland. I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, I'm offering only the truth, nothing more. Questions are the answer. Questions are the answer. Is this going to go into PQRST? It absolutely is. It absolutely is. PQRST, page 60. When we are able to break this book down into four numbers: 14, 4, and 63, because the other bait of baiting the shorts, which is, I used to think that baiting the shorts was hilarious because you just got baited into short selling, which is baiting the shorts. How GameStop pumped and I believe will rise again because I'm doing a turnaround. That's what I did last night is turnaround. My name is Larry Chang, Chiang. Don't ask what Meow Meow's name is because it's a Meow Meow. It's Slumdog, not millionaire. It's just Slumdog in a poverty mindset, not understanding baiting the shorts, which is every person who shorts or hates, they end up having to buy it. Let me repeat that. If you're short selling something, it's a contract to buy in the future. But what you're doing is you're suppressing the value right now. That's why three dudes in Silicon Valley love to bait the shorts: Elon Musk, Tom Brady, Larry Chang. When you read the Quora post, which you should, because you're claiming that I'm a scam artist for, oh, he accused me of TechCrunch crashing. Thank you, because without that accusation, I can never now remind people, hey, I started TechCrunch Disrupt. Literally started it. Inception, re-inception. Hey, Mike Arrington, focus on the inception. You can double your revenue in 1 month. Let's call it September. What do we need to do? We need to first start a party where we kind of make a little bit of money and a big splash in August. We did an August capital party in August before September. August capital. Howard Hartenbaum, MIT. Dave Hornick. Are those guys friends? Baiting the shorts by asking the question, Mike Arrington, founder of TechCrunch, what if we could double your company in 1 month? What if we could double your company? That's a person who I am now friends with, Kai Peter Chang. And then other people were also saying negative things that I pinned. Why do you want to pin negative comments instead of defending them and deleting them? Because reputation is complicated. It's not all trying to be a 5-star restaurant or a 4.7-star restaurant. That's not what it is. I'm not running a restaurant. I need to figure out quickly who you are. And why are you not liking this? You're only hurting yourself doing the Asian nosedive called kamikaze. I did promise a horse. I have one. To finish off the baiting the shorts, Elon Musk constantly baits the shorts. Tom Brady is a master of getting you to think the wrong things. That's why we have extended runways. That's why we have extended windows of our 15 seconds of fame, because we're baiting haters into becoming lovers. Not that kind of Slumdog love. I'm talking about like USA where sex with underage people at least is semi-illegal. Jeffrey Epstein, he didn't kill himself. haters into appreciators, haters into, oh, I used to try to get him canceled, but then I didn't realize he's the leader of the gay mafia running LGBTQ TT plus from outside, as per Dave Chappelle. Are you really a hillbilly boy? Yeehaw! Your phone's not so smart, it's really just breaking your brain. Yeah, the OC, my SoundCloud is amazing. There you go! There you go! There you go. Booyah. Screenshot. Ooh, screenshot. Oh, read the Business Insider piece. Just type in Larry Chang, Business Insider, and you'll see my guest piece. You'll see it. Oh my God, this is perfect. This is perfect. Thank you. You claim to have a best-selling book. What they don't teach you at Stanford Business School. Tell me in the chat any number between 1 and 14. Because when the New York Times says that the book's a bestseller, it is a bestseller. Hey Larry, did you launch the New York Times bestseller from the runway of New York Fashion Week? That makes you legendary. Aw, thank you. Yes, New York Fashion Week is also September 8 through 23. Guess who started New York Fashion Week? As a sequel. That would be my mentor, Mark McCormack. How are you guys not liking this stuff? I don't get it. I don't get it. Just a hero. You know nothing about the business. Stop lying. That was pretty good, right? That's pretty good, right? Thank you. Dude is such a clown. He's live again. Cowboy, cowboy, cowboy. Welcome. So, winning at sequels. Explaining Stanford Business School, what they don't teach you. We're playing a game. Tell me a number between 1 and 14. The reason I'm writing in reverse is I can speed read forward while being dyslexic. Who solved dyslexia from the front row of a Warren Buffett HBO documentary at the Four Seasons while watching Tom Brady win the Super Bowl down 28-3? Who did? Larry Chang. In Houston, front row at the basketball stadium's neighbor, the Four Seasons Houston. Is that when you got a cowboy hat? I wore a cowboy hat to a Kentucky Derby party because Kentucky Derby hats are a scam. You got to spend $300 to $600 on a Derby hat for horses. I got a horse hat. I got a horse. I'm wearing my stupid cowboy hat. I wore the cowboy hat and people are like, that's your Facebook profile picture. Where's your cowboy hat? You're supposed to show up with your cowboy hat. You're like 6'5". You're supposed to be wearing a cowboy hat. That's why we invited you here. What they don't teach you at Stanford Business School. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you have no viewers. Oh, you have 8 viewers. This is how good I am on 8 viewers. Treating each viewer like each viewer could be a blonde billionaire. Is that Brokeback meets Slumdog meets Your Brain? No. It's Cold Opens. Cold Opens. As I do a magical trick. Mark McCormack, New York Fashion Week. Mark McCormack, sequel of the Senior Golf Tour. Mark McCormack with a prequel. Larry Chang doing prequel, sequel. Why would you ever cold open when you can warm open a company? Joke franchises was the last point. Is this LC Signs? Is this LC Signs? Are you upset that Tony from LC Signs is Tony repping Larry Chang Signs? You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out all later. You'll figure it all out later. You'll figure it out later. Or did you just understand everything right now? Exactly. Exactly. You'll try to leave, but I tell you, this is a tickle in your brain, which is Mark McCormack. Let's speak simply if you're brand new. I was referred to as a broke scammer from Slumdog, dropping Asian slang, the shortened phrase for Japanese, which is this. You guys get to benefit from this hilarious defense of a pinned tweet altogether. This channel is what they don't teach in school. This is content on what they don't teach, or things that I used to think, which is us becoming better via comedy. Why? I identified the problem of the world is a doom scroll. The world is trying to pull us down. Normally in the 20s of every century, it's worst of times, best of times. Do you feel like some of your friends are experiencing the worst of times? Do you feel like there's fraud in when people succeed, right? There is that. Why do you get to make so much money doing nothing? I'm now demoralized. You have a friend who cares about you, who will never ask you to come to a workshop. You have a person who's willing to walk you through life's cold open, business franchises cold open, done via a sequel, which is things I used to think. Because I used to think somebody needed to give me permission or $1 million in order for me to make $300,000. Seeing that people are this negative towards me should give you caution, because people are going to be doubly negative to you when you are one of the crabs leaving the pot. I've left the pot. I am miles away from the pot, visiting the pot of crabs. And the crabs are yearningly putting their little crabby paws, trying to grab at me to pull me into the crab pot, where I own the land around the crab pot. I own the video around the crab pot. I own everything adjoining the pot of crabs. And I'm not saying you're a crab in a pot. I'm getting you to see how the world is wired, which is via doom scroll and negativity, and saying that YouTube influencer is just trying to scam me. Because they've said it not to me because they're critically thinking. They're saying that because they've stopped believing, they've stopped hoping, they've stopped thinking that anything that's positive is even a reality. This is why the magic that I do is I take haters, not all of them, but some of them, haters into lovers. Haters into OMG, I've never heard a person spit game like this before. It's not spitting game. It's doing Chinese shit in a obnoxious way, obnoxiously positive, with a business model that you don't understand, because you're thinking, hey, is this Chinese guy trying to hit monetization? If I wanted to hit monetization, I would have done that by selling out. What's selling out? More attention seeking, more attention seeking, more attention seeking, asking Google to give me money. Monetization on Google is outsourcing the business model engineering to a non-engineer. Let me repeat that. YouTube monetization is delegating distribution and money making to an algorithm. Do I look like I delegate to an algorithm that doesn't have my best interests or my viewers' best interests at heart? Right? This is free. And if you don't treat it like it's $50,000, you're fucked. Is that harsh? No. It's awesome. Let's say $50,000 is more money than 5 generations of your family wealth, right? It is, maybe. Treat this video like it's worth $5,000, which is why if you can't make $800, something's really wrong. And is this where I rope you or wrangle you into paying me no money for the 50,000th, for the 30th time? There's no workshop. There's no inner sanctum of coaching. There is no Patreon. If you knew what you're talking about on YouTube, you wouldn't have to rope off the content between freemium and paid. You wouldn't have to put up that paywall. You wouldn't have to put up that paywall, which is why when I open sourced the book and asked the question for a 10th time, which is tell me a number between 1 and 14. To the core, get a job if you need money. Thank you for telling me that you have not read the book Alexander Ostrander, Business Model Generation, because you're thinking that the government is your daddy. How much money has the government given you? Get a job which is just over broke, because you're seeing the amount of work that I put into YouTube. Hi, I'm Larry Chang. How are you? My YouTube channel is Larry Chang, and I have accountability for my name. I don't use aliases. I don't use doubles, and I kind of got a kink for sextuple entendre. What's sextuple entendre? It's 4x, 3x, 1x, a double entendre. Puns. Puns are the lowest form of comedy, which is a double entendre. Be better. Be better. I saw a starfish on the shore, and there had just been a storm, and there were hundreds of starfish washed upon the shore. So I grabbed one starfish and I threw it back. And an old negative person said to me, "You can't save all the starfish. You cannot." And I calmly kept walking. I picked up another starfish and I was like, "You might be right. I may not be able to save all the starfish." As I save another starfish, and I kept on walking. The old guy said, "Dude, stop. You can't save all the starfish." I thanked him for his negativity. I picked up another starfish and I flung him back and I saved him. And the old guy was like, "You're not going to save them all." And I said to the old guy, becoming smarter than the octogenarian, which gave me an IQ of 5,000, I said, as I flung another starfish into the ocean, I said, "It mattered to that one. It mattered to that one." Did we just become Bumble best friends? Did we just become Bumble best friends? Barack Obama, starfish story. I hate stories. Stories are stupid. I can see you're lying. You're looking away every time you lie. Thank you for bringing up neural linguistic programming. These are eye-accessing clues where you need a hug Why? You need a hug. Did you see where I looked? To the right. Because I'm recalling the fact that it was painful for your father to leave. Down and to the left, emotional pain. Eyes right is recall of your trauma. Down and to the left is emotionally connecting. This is true love that I have for you, because single parent household. Look, I'm getting choked up for you. Because when you call me a liar, this isn't the first alpha male that you've called a liar. Hello, sir. I say, hello back. What is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be some negative thing? 3. The game we're playing is list out a number 1 to 14. You don't think that what they don't teach you at Stanford book exists. Once you think that that book doesn't exist, thank you for telling me that computer scientists will benefit in the same way that we all buy Bitcoin at the price we deserve. We all buy the free book, what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School, at the price that we deserve. What does that mean? That means we all buy Bitcoin at the price we deserve. Because if you understood it, what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School, as a FU. What is FU money? It is not telling your boss FU. That's not FU money. That's the lowest form of FU money, because that means you bought a lottery ticket. You don't want to tell your boss FU. You want to tell your boss thank you for torturing me, so that way I change my behavior and I watch Larry Chang videos to do a side hustle or moonlighting. And the reason I'm looking down and to the left is because I'm emotionally accessing the pain of prior not. Up and to the left is right out of John Grinder, Richard Bandler. So as an actor, if I'm able to I-access Q into perfect NLP, perfectly NLP, perfectly neuro-linguistic programming, and you could claim that the screen's flipped, but we can flip the screen for I-accessing clues, neuro-linguistic programming. That's why I pinned the tweet. I can see you're lying, you're looking away every time. This is what sociopaths do when they lie to you. Ladies, I'll tell you when it's about to explode. I'll tell you. How do you guys not laugh at that? That's funny. Did you get confused because you're still catching up? 3. Oh, that's my mentor Larry Chang's chapter on paste copy. 5. Oh, thanks. That's my mentor Larry Chang's book, What They Don't Teach at Stanford Business School. The chapter on mentorship. What's cold opening? Oh, interesting that you say number 6, because that's chapter 6. Chapter 7. Stop throwing homo Hail Marys, right? Stop doing that, because this is a safe space for everybody. Let's try to keep our spam for relationship comments at a minimum. Chapter 7, bang less, get ahead. 11, that's my mentor, Larry Chang. It's his flagship chapter on failing forward. Where are all these chapters at? Where's the book? Oh, did you even publish the book? Yeah, you can co-publish the book, and you can be adjacent to a New York Times bestseller. Who knows? You might even be a New York Times bestseller with the same book title. No consent required. Why? Because book titles, such as 4 Steps to the Epiphany, you can't trademark a book title. That's why there's 10 books that are on Limitless, 10 books that are on abundance, or whatever new age brouhaha that's being passed around. Things I used to think. Chapter 11. I just hit it. Do you see that? I just accidentally hit it because you're understanding this thing that really will help you. Outlines. Chapters 1 through 14 are a universal cheat code for memorizing every book. Outline. When I do this for someone else's book, such as Limitless, chapter 4, chapter 14, page 60, page 163. See, what's going on here is a game, a money game. Because you ask me how the money works, which is, let's leave this pot of crabs by reading our first book. Chapter 13, memorization. Chapter 13 is memorization. When your iPhone needs to be charged, you need to be charged. Charging up, page 344, green tea. Drug-free, baby. Your eye movements lie. Neuro-linguistic programming. Unlimited power, unlimited supernatural. Where telling everyone who's in self-help, self-improvement, that they're lying is your default when you go from YouTube video to YouTube video, and you're back. And you're back. And Old Glory's back. He's Clint Far Eastwood. It's okay. You can use my joke. I'm not selfish. Kids nowadays will say the darnest of things for attention. Mike, you've been done. Chinese guy knows ways to make money. Oh yeah, let's expand on that. You're up early? Lobby closed early last night. The lobby, Larry Chang, is always open. I can see you're lying. You are, Y-O-U-R-E. You're looking away every time. The reason your in your is involved, darn it, I can't pin the message because it's already pinned. Outline. Making these next 5 minutes the most valuable minutes that you've ever watched on YouTube. For sunrise video, let's go. The outline of a joke. He's Clint Far Eastwood. You gotta set it up with the comedy of triples, the outline of that joke. Hey, it's Larry Chang, or is it Clint Eastwood? Or should I say, Far Eastwood? It's not a great joke because the punch isn't quite there. Let's review the outline of Clint Eastwood. Get off my lawn, right? Or guns blazing. Larry Chang. Did he fire Web 5, or are we counting all the way up to Web 12? To tell you the truth, in all this craziness, I'm not quite sure. I'm still so excited, I've lost count. So, are you feeling lucky, punk? Are you feeling lucky? That's the joke rewritten. You're welcome. No, I don't. The joke makes itself. You could argue about humor, but I can see you laughing. Oh my God, see? See? Right? See? Did we just become friends again a second time because you called me a scam artist yesterday, and I called you lovingly a mouth breather because I can see that you're not breathing in my shiitake. I can see you not breathing it in. I can see you not breathing it in. Doing some housekeeping, doing some housekeeping, doing some housekeeping. You were saying something scam artist aligned, and maybe I see every critic as calling me a scam artist because I'm baiting people into saying negative things. But you had something kind of negative. But we are friends now. I don't need your consent to call you a friend, which is outline. How many people have gone from hater to my mentee? Guess who hated me because I was really, really, really obnoxiously good at basketball? Tom Brady. You may not think that Tom Brady is my mentee, but you can't argue with the fact that Tom Brady knows my full name and will say things that I say in exactitude of PQRST, even parroting the honorary Chinese status that I gave him. Because Chinese is not an ethnicity. Because if you culturally appropriate, that's even hard for me to say. There is no such thing as cultural appropriation of Chinese culture. Like, you can't eat Chinese food on Christmas and call it appropriation. It's just appropriate. There's no appropriation of studying math class before math class. That's like saying that that's cultural appropriation. If I take ground balls at shortstop and I throw them over to first base at 92 miles an hour, is that velocity inappropriate? Yes. But that's not cultural appropriation because I'm warming up. Ditto me draining threes, three balls, 3-pointers. Like when I drain a 3-pointer in a game, that's because I've shot 30,000 3-pointers. So why are you showing up at math class with 0 reps? Why are you showing up in my YouTube live stream not doing any work between YouTube lives, right? Sorry, Larry, I'm out. I'm consulting on a contract. People apologizing for leaving the live stream. Apologize to yourself and say thank you because this is recorded, but it's not pubic. It's not pubic. It's not public. It's buried on a live link that I'm sharing. Is this where you join my email newsletter? No. I'm burying it at Duck9, deeply understood Chinese knowledge. Is there a subscription fee? No. I've just gamified letting you have more time with Web 12. The moat, the water around this castle, the protection, it's not a paywall. There should be a paywall. It'd actually benefit you if I put up a paywall, but I don't want to because I want to fuck with you mentally to be like, oh my God, this shit's amazing. Why is this free? You'll come to the realization, but I need to put up some kind of barrier. And it has to do with me kind of being protective by having this persona of, yo, bro, I don't want to be your friend. Yo, chica, stop trying to fuck me. Which is, I'm putting the link over on Duck9 that you can open and rewatch this video and then put it into Gemini, which is the AI for YouTube. AI is not Asian intelligence in this case, it's AI, artificial intelligence. Is this where I promote to Google I/O conference next year? No. Google I/O does. Gamified, your vocabulary is wild. Oh, this is a game. It's called Master the Money Game. Is that a Tony Robbins book? Yeah, but I've been talking about money mastery via chapter 2 of Brokeback. Some woman pretending to be a man is claiming that I'm homosexual. That would be faux homosexual just because I said no to your vagina overtures. You can come in and pretend to be a guy, calling me gay, hoping to drive me into the arms of the vagina that I'm not interested in. Is this the first time I've been called gay for turning down not hot vagina? Yes and no. And I just got confused there because New Larry does not say no. New Larry says yes. Because once you say no to a woman, you get another Quora post adjacent to Larry's a scam artist, Kai Peter Chang, and the name escapes me, which is this Korean girl. Was it Sarah Park or Lisa Kim? I turned her down and she wrote an essay. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Bruce Taylor, welcome back. I didn't even scorn her. She threw vagina at my own party, the TechCrunch party, at my own party. Is that the party, Larry, that you helped Chameleonaire become a VC? Yeah. 3 really good parties with Larry Chang gets you into the Silicon Valley stratosphere. She says to me, oh, I accidentally hit mod. Sort of. Yeah, because some people just rise and yeah, it's kind of a mod. It's an accidental mod. And then once you mod them once, they're just perma mods. Bruce, being a mod in this chat is kind of like being a firefighter at a swimming pool. Old Glory, say thank you. Nadi Shadana breathing, page 43. I just gave you 10 years. We're at TechCrunch, and either Lisa Kim or Sarah Park, one of those Korean names where she can say bad things and not get penalized because there's 8,000 of them. She says to me, "You're hot. I want to fuck you right now." I was like, oh, scoreboard time. Like, you're really beautiful. Fuck you later at 9:15? She did not like that. I'm like, this party just started. My career doesn't depend on it because I already am rocking 3 commas. Definitely 2 commas. I don't even know because I operate as if I have $0. This party's going to be important to other people's careers. I didn't quite say it that way, but I said it like, this party's kind of important and it just started. I can't leave. I'm not going to say that next year I coincidentally had sex on the premises with another Korean girl who was throwing hot vagina fast, which is why I say stranger danger. I post the boobs picture, head cropped, and then Silicon Valley people say, why are you not canceling the gay guy running the gay mafia? Because this is also a safe space for heterosexual activity. Let me repeat that. As head of the gay mafia, I'm here to tell you that this is a safe space for everybody, including heterosexuals throwing vagina, which is the girl who wrote the Quora post. There's an essay. It's probably the most hilarious essay that I did not counter because she was calling me a homosexual and other positive things. Larry, when you start talking about women like this, I can't help but want to ridicule you. Let's go back to another topic. So, thank you for keeping me on topic. The reason that this matters is look at my ability to temporarily say no to hot vagina being offered, because 99% of guys who are rocking a Woody with the flag all the way up the pole, they would have said yes and then not helped Cal engineers who are founders, Stanford engineers who are founders, and Y Combinator, which is Y Combinator, Jessica Livingston, Paul Graham. This is what happens, old boy, old glory, which is this. I don't know what those emojis are. I'm emoji blind. But I consent. This is why YC companies go bankrupt. Is the founders from Asia, dare I say South Asia, once they become YC Stanford Larry Chang popularized, start doing slumdog billionaire things. And guess what happens to the company? The VCs suffer. I don't want to see VCs suffer. That's actually pretty funny. Am I going to Pearl Harbor you? Yeah, for 10 seconds. Pearl Harbored. You just got Pearl Harbored, baby. USS Arizona countermeasures. That was my imitation of people making fun of jujitsu. Like, could you imagine if you couldn't even do this? The simple block. Like, you think karate chop. Oh, the Chinese cowboy, I bet you know karate. You look like you're chopping vegetables as a person of Latin descent, ascent. Did I just Pearl Harbor you? Altogether, when you don't read my mentor, Larry Chang's Chapter 7, Bang, Let's Get Ahead, when your company becomes a unicorn, which it obviously will because, right, I'm the blonde billionaire whisperer batting 1,000. You're right, I need to hydrate. Running low on water. Oh, you're overhydrating. Oh, let me give you health advice. Thank you for telling me that you have no Chinese friends. And last year you drank 0-gallon green tea, where I want to drink more green tea in a day than you make in the last 5 generations of your family using a stuffed animal, bumblebee. Look at how cute. Look at how cute. Does this guy look like he makes more money than the last 5 generations of your family? Right? He does. Because he's cute, he's approachable, he doesn't talk back, he smells amazing. He smells amazing. He smells like the way winners smell. Does he smell like room temperature honey on a Miami afternoon? The jokes, kids, they write themselves. The jokes, they write themselves. Sex, energy, diffused, rerouted. Sexual energy, transmutated. Sexual energy into, can you delay gratification? Because it turns out a lot of people can't. You're dropping sex talk as an ex-MMA fighter, probably with about 7% body fat, right? Being a celibate causes people to ruin their brain. So you, as a non-celibatory person who's not celibate, you don't see you don't see it because you don't have it as an issue. You don't see it as an issue. We're focused on outline. This channel is what they don't teach you in school. This sub channel is the viral, making it go viral, which is ideas I used to have, things that I used to think, fortune cookie size messages on outline, fortune cookie size message advice, dare I say, on cold opens. Are we going to re-cold open? We are, which is what I just did in resetting the room as the sun plays tricks at sunrise. Energy. Where does energy come from? Is this unlimited supernatural, combining a Joe Dispenza book with a Tony Robbins book, combined with a Jim Quick book? Yes, because we don't have to cold start, cold open a startup. Think about that word, start up. It's like cold calling. I won't tell you the Steve Blank story of how I met Steve Blank. But what I will say is that these 4 paperback books that I bought used will make more money than everybody in attendance times 5. Not because I want it to be, but because these 4 books are a workout. It's a repetition. It's, can you get over the cold start problem? Did I just quote Andrew Chen's book? Because Andrew Chen, he's a VC who blocked me. Not because he's trying to blackball me, but because he's trying to blackball his own brain, because he does not see that having a Chinese best friend means you're now really Chinese, because Andrew Chen, Larry Chang, it's basically the same person, where you can't imagine a Chinese guy who's good at sports. Like, do you not watch sports? Or Jeremy Lin? Like, it happens. You may not like it. Probably because he's also 5'6", without the Napoleon complex. Napoleon complex, it's actually good. You just don't want to die in Russia in the wintertime. Andrew Chen, cold start problem solved with the 5th epiphany. Uber. Did we overlap at Uber? Kinda, because I am the solo founder of his, oh, I made my app go viral. You could get mad that Larry Chang is the solo founder of the Uber API, because Uber didn't need to anoint me as the CTO, the Chinese Technical Oriental. CTO, CTO jokes for the win. Did I just come up with that? Yeah, because I would crash the Uber engineering party as the solo founder of the Uber API. And then after I crashed 2 years, I was like, am I getting invited this year? And they're like we can stop you, right? Chinese guy rolling into a Christmas party with a cowboy hat. I stopped wearing a cowboy hat. And then this happened, which is the outline, which is comedy. Because I used to think that a cowboy hat was peacocking. It is not peacocking. It is a thinking cap. It is also an identifier because in Silicon Valley, there are a crap ton of tall, hot Chinese guys. Did I just call John Teo hot? Yeah. Did I just call Tim Chang hot? Yes. Did I just call 6'3" Larry Chang hot? Yeah. Board of director, GameStop. Good job, Larry Chang, for pulling your head out of your ass and finally listening to Larry Chang, IANG. GameStop should be $2,450, not $24.50. Because I told you in 2021 to do Bitcoin. Is this Bitcoin for corporations? Yeah. Did I mentor Michael Saylor? Strategy? Yeah. Is my mentee going to have the #1 most valuable company in the world? Yeah. Is Fong Li my mentee? No. The CEO of MicroStrategy, now Strategy, he's my mentor. Coincidentally, if you think the tall Chinese guy is awesome, you have a way higher likelihood of being CEO. John Wang. You're also really good looking. I met him. Within 30 days, he sold a company for $1 billion. Was that coincidence? It's probably just a coincidence that blonde billionaires who are self-made billion doesn't count if you divorce a dude to make $1 billion. I mean, credit to you because that's a business model. But I'm batting 1,000 when it comes to self-made blonde billionaires. Having giant boobs and being blonde, it gives you this. It gives you abundance mindset. You don't have slumdog slum thoughts. You have everyone loves me. I just need to risk cold opens because Larry Chang is my mentor and he says crazy, hilarious shit. But I'm going to go ahead and sit at his feet and listen because he might just be spewing bullshit. But if I pretend listen well enough, he might fuck me. And then what happens is it clicks in your mind where you're like, oh my God, everything actually now makes sense. And then you don't have to bounce up and down on my D to make the money because I'm not going to give you half. I'm going to show you how to go from booth babe to billionaire. Jessica Scorpio. The vanity mirror and flowers. I've weighed 300 pounds since I was 22 years old. I've weighed over 200 since I was 12. Oh my God, me too. Well, not 200, but I've been the same height the whole time. My old girlfriend had an image of Sigmund on her slip. What is this chat about? Okay, so Crazy Ivan, which is full stop, seeing what's in the back. Japanese master artists leave a flaw not to challenge the gods. Bruce Taylor, no wonder you're the moderator. In fact, Bruce Taylor, you should take over this channel. Oh, which I've also done before. Do you want to hear Larry Chang lecture the entire Stanford engineering lecture? No. I brought in last year's best to do what? I brought in last year's best to keynote for me. And then people were like, oh my God, Larry just had undergrads teach class, which in and of itself is genius. Why? Because now you're going from back of the room, back row, to sitting first row entrepreneurship, to doing a guest lecture. When you guest lecture at Stanford University as a Stanford undergrad, you go into the stratosphere. Now I can pressure you into, hey, guest lecturer, you're making this future mistake. And then now you're fully being able to be mentored, which is what the goal of this channel is, which is why don't you just have AI be your co-pilot? Why don't you just have this thought? What if Mark McCormack were making my decisions for me? Book, chapter, verse. Tell me a number between 1 and 14. Are you feeling the reality of what they don't teach you at Stanford Business School? Because every person who accused me of not publishing the book couldn't look up chapter 12, Street Smarts, chapter 14, which is you actually want to go to Stanford Business School. You just want to quit after the first year, hashtag CH14. Guess who is still hashtag blind? Two titans of AI. Your advantage with Web 12, it's temporary. What is Web 12? It's Web 1, Web 2. What's Web 12? It's Web 2, but social. Do you feel very social right now, or do you feel isolated? That would be isolated. What's Web 12? You write 12 sentences, I read them, and then I write 12 sentences back to you. That's Web 12, where you write 12 sentences and I write 12 sentences. Oh, but what if I write 12 sentences and you won't read them? Thank you for telling me that your brain needs an immediate response via text message. What you're taking advantage of within Web 12 is being patient and compounding. Is this the orange pill? It's actually the double orange pill, but it's basically the red pill if you're currently blue pilled. Doing your own moderation while doing director of photography, while doing technology, it's easy. What we're sharing is what they don't teach you in school. What this comedy set what this comedy set is things that I used to think. Gets us into fortune cookie sized text messages. The B is unnamed. Gets us into fortune cookie sized text messages. Larry, what do you advise? Do you have that will help me become rich? Just have ChatGPT do all the work. There you go. So, Leroy Jenkins, thank you for the deliciously awesome question. I shall help you become rich. Step one, get pen and paper. Larry, I'm sorry. I got to bounce and close this sale. Good job, buddy. Uh, you're still at web page 0, by the way, buddy. Leroy Jenkins, do you have a website? Because the first thing you did was look for government as your daddy or Sam Altman as your daddy, because that's who started ChatGPT. Because you said, oh, open ChatGPT, do all the work. The work that ChatGPT and AI cannot do is the distribution, which is, I don't understand one sentence or two. Can you re-ask? Which is, oh, stay off drugs. This is your brain on chapter 12, pineal gland producing chemical for everybody for Leroy Jenkins. Let's go. ChatGPT is not your daddy. You can't, you, that's not step one. That's actually everybody's mistake is they want to have AI do all the work. The work that they can't do is specifically this, and if you don't write it down and expand on this, you will stay at the level that you're at. Oh, but this is just your style. I want to do my own style. This is why I catapulted to number one in entrepreneurship education as seemingly the smartest person in Silicon Valley. Why? Because I solved financial death. You're in financial death danger. This is my focus, which is, should I let ChatGPT do all the work? What do you advise that will help me become rich? Just have ChatGPT do all the work. The work that ChatGPT cannot do is distribution work. You want to be the driver and controller of the money and the distribution because you cannot delegate certain tasks. That is this line of code, which is money code, American language code, or secret Chinese translator because everybody needs a Larry Chang translator. Okay, those criticisms are unique and simpleton. Let's expand on the prior, which is distribution. You have to do CS 183D. You see, your issue of do I have ChatGPT do all the distribution work? Because we don't get paid to be awesome. We get paid to promote. We don't get paid to star in the movie. We get paid to do the distribution and sell tickets for the movie. We don't get paid because ChatGPT, Grok 4, Anthropic are awesome. John Wang doing windsurf, having started the company and then selling it for $1 billion. We get paid to distribute. First thing you need to do is distribute or write down CS 183D because other people don't have Web 12. So you're connecting CS 183D to Web 12. I put myself in great danger getting incredibly specific because the people that tuned out and didn't turn their TV off, they think that they can do it a different way. This is why half the companies at Stanford and 80% of the companies at YC go bankrupt with zero revenue. This is why I have the confidence level that I have because the number 0, it's incredibly powerful and people they just can't get over it. They can't get over being an involuntary business virgin, IBV. Is this involuntary celibate? No. It's being involuntarily a business virgin, which is you're a virgin because you have $0 in business. Look at how many people on YouTube criticize me for not being monetized. Why would I delegate distribution to YouTube? I'm actually mitigating my distribution on YouTube by putting my videos on private or the version of private where you have to have a link. Why? Because I'm telling you where the links are, which is at deeply understood Chinese knowledge. Did I just become your Chinese best friend? Yeah. I even put my cell phone out there so that way people won't be like, oh, well, I need to call you. Like, yeah, you have a problem. 415-612-1737. Leroy Jenkins, step one, create a website. 12 sentences. Web 12. Distribution. Are you Korean? I always say yes. I love where you're going with this. Neil deGrasse level. Thank you. Bruce Taylor said hi. Coordinating and marketing talent and expanding opportunities, groundwork of success, said Bruce Taylor in my limited scope. 415-867 415-612-1737. Is that Tom Brady's cell phone number? Yeah. He said it on ESPN. And what's green tea? What page number is this? So, Leroy Jenkins, you can enter my book club. Is this book club at Sunrise? Actually, it is. You get to be limitless because you're also doing distribution work, which is zero risk. Selling this book for, tell me a number between 600 and 1500. Tell me a number between 600 and 1500, Leroy Jenkins. What's UE5? Is that like a video game that I'm doing? Because the song I'm singing is Your Phone's Not So Smart, It's Really Just Breaking Your Brain, remixed into the Toy Story 5 trailer recut. Because Pixar fell flat on its face with having a movie, Cleo, star an 11-year-old gay kid without an origin story. Okay, uh, so that's the perfect number for you, 13.99. Just checking. Just checking. Cool. I know that your hairstyle underneath gets me super hot. Cool. Cool. I know you're a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be pretending. So cool. So 13.99, it matters. Doesn't matter if you pay 20 or 2,000 so long as you pay it off on time. Giuseppe, ship web page number 1. Ship web page number 1. Make dollar number 18. Giuseppe, you're going to have to at least sell one notebook. 13.99, Leroy Jenkins. You're selling this book for $1,400. You can do it. Don't call it 13.99. If you say 13.99, people will think $13.99. And also, the reason you came up with a weird complicated number is that's your brain trying to be complicated and weird. And trust me, I'm complicated and weird and it doesn't work. Look at my number of subs, fewer than 800K. Oh, are you going to sub shame me? No, because the only number that matters are my 70 plus bank accounts and 70 plus hardware wallets. Who puts a full Bitcoin on one wallet, right? Idiots, right? Understand cybersecurity much? Larry, I bet you're one of those people who has the same password for every website. Man, I went to Lehigh or Drexel or what's that other school that's in Boston? Wellesley. Thanks again for covering the hair. My hair game's tight. Not as sweaty as it needs to be, but still pretty good. Is this turning into OnlyFans? What? Like, pay me $1,400 and I'll show you my hair. Pay me $1,400 and I'll do my hair. Happy? 1,400 bucks. Let's go. You're going to purchase two of these books. Then you lay them on a coffee table in a coffee shop or steakhouse or Four Seasons hotel. You bring three $5 bills to the hotel. Deviate from those denominations at your own peril. If you're at a business conference, you can take over the business conference using eight $5 bills. It's called tip, bribe, comp, tip. What's more powerful, eight $5 bills or a team of Harvard MBAs? I have a PhD thesis there because when you talk shit to the best said, prove it. Who makes more money? Two stuffed animals or an entire team of consultants, MBAs? You go to this restaurant and you HTG, HFA, OTR. You lay these two books out like this. You lay the two books out like this. And you wait for people to troll you. Rich people will cold open you. We're talking about cold opens. Did I just show you how to be Larry Chang? Getting cold opened? Yes. Because have you heard of raw dogging in a coffee shop or raw dogging a flight? I took you as a starfish, threw you back in the ocean, and I saved you. I can't save all the starfish, but I'm saving you. This is how. This is how. Right on cue, this is how. You look like a billionaire when you're rocking two books because a billion is just a million times 1,000. A million seconds is really close. A billion seconds is 32 years away. So a million seconds is 11.7 days away. So if you're making $1 a second, being a millionaire is less than 2 weeks away. This is what's tough, which is, oh, Tomb's going from hater to lover pretty quick. Good job. Giuseppe, have you shipped one web page? Web 12 is you get to benefit from AI with the idea of patient compounding. Look at how patient I am in this chat. If you're new, hi, I'm Larry Chang. I have a channel on what they don't teach you in school. What you just stepped into is a magic trick. This is me explaining to you magic. Magicians will copy me in the same way that comedians will connect with me because both those are artists that don't make very much money. Here's the magic trick. We get two books that are the same book that are under $20. We're selling one book for $1,400. $1,400 by memorizing four numbers: 163, 60, 14, 4. Turbo hike! Hike, hike! What that is you understanding how complicated it is to quarterback money. Am I Tom Brady's mentor? Actually, with his Hertz turnaround, Tom Brady, uh, lefty, lefty who throws a football righty. He's left-handed. He throws a football right-handed. When I called the play, 14-4, 60, 163, turbo hike. Now you understand that this is a play. This is a magic trick. This is the answer to your question. Oh my God. So I appreciate you saying thank you. And I appreciate that you think I care about likes and subscribers. I care about the numbers I just gave you. Oh my God. Your Burger King is here? Stop it. I'm literally helping you make that much money and you got Burger King door dashed? Throw your Burger King into a bag because this is way more critical than eating Burger King. I'm not going to, you can't eat and watch this. Pen to paper, this is what I'm dealing with. This is literally what I'm dealing with. And am I fake angry, just like Tom Brady and Augie Garrido? Look up Augie Garrido rant. He's actually fake angry. This is me reprising the role of Augie Garrido because what could be better than a Chinese actor reprising the role of a Caucasian baseball coach? That was the most humiliating comment I've ever read on YouTube. Remember, this is not me yelling. This is me reprising a role. This is my audition. That was the most embarrassing thing I've ever read on YouTube. You've got to put me on pause in order to get a Burger King? What? What? I am embarrassed for you. Why are we eating Burger King right now? Why? You can make this $1,400. I'm laying it down. What is wrong with you? Why won't you just get rich? Are you guys having a good time? I am. Leroy, Leroy, Leroy. Thinking that he can dip from his own session. Let's make the $1,400 for Leroy, and then as a fuck you, Venmo him the money. Who's in? Who's in? Who's in for who's in? Who's in? Who's in? Who's in? Okay, people aren't in. The way to be in is hashtag LCRR.